Star Citizen CitizenCon 2952 or 2022 if you want to use the correct year is coming soon, and Cloud Imperium wanted to give us some teasers towards that, as well as some previews of Alpha 3.18's new locations and crash sites. But I also wanted to talk about a dev response on some criminal changes that are coming that are going to have a major effect on the game because they're going to help prevent accidental crime stats ruining your fun. Let's start with some colonial outposts and teasers towards Alpha 4.0 and Pyro. So colonial outposts have evolved and grown in scope from last year. We are going to see these around Pyro in Alpha 4.0. They showed us some overlay work that are various props and dressings to change the way an area looks and to give themes to areas. This can have an area built up of trash or rubble or piles of loot. It can make an area look like it's an outlaw area rather than a lawful clean place, or maybe it's more rundown and abandoned. The example that Cloud Imperium have given us and have showed us is an outlaw outpost here with a drug growing area and lots of tools that could be used for illegal salvage or chop shop. It's a very sort of makeshift prison there and a lot of mess, and you can see that it's been lived in and it feels pretty unsafe. So they'd placed one of these outposts on Daymar for testing, and they have a little bit of gameplay showing around here. So these are extremely modular, these outposts, and they are able to tweak and change them, and feedback based on their playthroughs and what works, what doesn't work, sort of evolves the current outpost, but also outposts for the future. And just because this is a sort of more outlaw-themed outpost doesn't necessarily mean they'll be hostile to you. There's reasons they won't be hostile to you. There's going to be missions there where you'd be fighting them or helping them. This is going to be based on your reputation and what mission you're doing at the time. So this sort of stuff helps with them developing the Rastar tool, which will be used to build out all the various outposts in Pyro for Alpha 4.0 and other systems in the future. But eventually we know that Rastar will become effectively a player base building tool that us little players will get our grubby little mitts on, though suspect it to be quite different with a very sort of a user-friendly user interface. Bug testing here is important too. They need to make sure that the AI can move around and the UIs work and missions don't get broken, etc. Now, interestingly, in this area, we saw some new props and things used here. I saw a barbecue and a grill and a cooking area, which I really like. The food there looks tasty. The prefab, props and overlays will all get put into groups and then appear for developers to use when building out other locations, but also more outposts to evolve these areas, whatever. They showed off some sort of medical-ish areas, some storerooms. They're pretty dirty, wouldn't want to be treated here. Engineering and power of generation rooms were shown. Looks like there might be a puzzle to turn on a generator maybe, or get it hooked up, or then press the right buttons in the right order, or certain ones to get power. I think there might be some form of incinerator here. Oh, no, I've just realised that one of the NPCs was wearing an apron and there's lots of blood and everywhere. I think they might be eating people. They might be chopping people up, stealing their organs and barbecuing people, though that food did look tasty earlier. Oh, no. So they also gave us an early look at a repair and service station that'll be on the ground in various locations in Stanton, on planets and moons there and beyond. There are ground refineries as well, so there's going to be these ground-based refinery locations that will make use of the upcoming resource system, which I was a bit confused with, because are they talking about a resource system as in what the Hammerhead's getting, the sort of the relay and power and movement of that, or are they talking about more of refineries and being able to use resources and sort of minables and that sort of stuff and change them into other things? The reason I say that is that it was made very clear that the resource system would be used for these, and I was like, well, any outpost or structure that has power will surely make use of the resource system, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what they meant by that. I felt there was an implication that we might be able to build these ourselves one day, maybe. They said that you'll be able to make use of these facilities or hinder someone else trying to make money at these facilities. Does this mean that people are going to be camping them or locking them down? Maybe. Again, we'll have to wait and see. There are a load of assets from last year's CitizenCon Outpost demo that we didn't see here, and you can expect them to turn up in other locations, though. It didn't look like these guys were using greenhouses, for example. Maybe that's because they went for a more meaty option. They are saving the massive Pyro Outlaw space stations until CitizenCon. to show, so I'm really looking forward to that. There'll be lots of stuff at CitizenCon, as there is every year. We are still waiting on more CitizenCon information that's supposed to be dropping later this week. We know it's going to be in October, and likely on the 8th or 15th of October, because they like to put it on a Saturday, and typically it's around the 10th, so that's my guesstimate. Alpha 3.18 has some crash sites, and they've been showing some of these off. The Montreal studio has been working on new gameplay area and crash sites for Alpha 3.18. The Reclaimer crash site at Microtech is massive, and they wanted to make something with some smaller ships. That was a massive undertaking, the Reclaimer, and is like 90% of that crash site and settlement is Reclaimer when you are looking at the one on Microtech. So there's a new Daymar crash site and settlement that combines that settlement with two different ships' crash sites, the 600i and the Mercury Star Runner, sort of all in one area. The 600i is partly lodged into like a cave that it's burst into and hanging off a cliff almost. It's very much a ship that crashed at high speed. It smashed through like the floor, bam, and it's really taken a big impact. As both the 600i versions are being overhauled at the moment, I wonder if they will update this area in the future, or if they've cunningly used parts of the 600i that won't really change. The Mercury Star Runner is a bit further away from the 600i and settlement, which is sort of more together, and you'll see signs of its trail on the ground. It's sort of like hit the ground and skidded. It's very much used and has people coming to salvage components or use it as shelter. There's a little shooting range by there as well that they've set up that you can make use of yourself, and I really like all of this stuff, the outposts, the crash sites, the settlements for environmental storytelling when they build up these areas, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do there. Between those ships, but mostly around the 600i, is a settlement that's been built up. It's more of a shanty town, making use of scrap and wreckage, but there are little makeshift structures and scaffolds. You can expect a load of different missions here, but the assets they've built out with this will allow them to more rapidly build out similar areas for gameplay in the future. They're not set on exactly what ship they want to do next for crash sites and these sort of derelicts, but they're taking feedback from players, so what do you think? What do you want to see? There was an update from the extremely awesome Luke Presley, the Persistent Universe lead designer, about crimes, crime stats, and making your life better from accidents ruining your gameplay experience. Luke said, "I wanted to let you know that there's some major changes being tested right now, which would see players with up to a crime stat 2 no longer lawful to attack, and be allowed to land at all landing zones to pay off their fines. Also, crime stat 2s will be payable as fines. We're quite confident this will work out, but obviously reserve the right to change this if insurmountable issues are discovered. I'll go into more details on these changes when we're absolutely certain." He went on to talk about some issues that they were trying to reproduce with problems with crime stats. And he said, "We're not done testing, but I can report we've discovered the source of some issues that players are having. Innocent players can be charged even if other players have self-inflicted damage on their vehicles. That should be easy to fix. Innocent players aboard a ship containing criminals can press charges against bounty hunters who destroy the ship. Not an easy fix, but they have ideas how to fix that. Criminals can press charges against civilians who snare them. That should again be easy to fix. Ship debris will not clean up, possibly causing destruction to other ships. We think that this is likely the cause of the Ghost Armistice violations. The bug is logged on another team, so hopefully they'll be able to solve that. The gunner of a vehicle can give the pilot a crime stat for attacking an AI vehicle. That was found to be the assaulting an officer crime, and again, that should be easy to fix. We've also been discussing possible solutions to non-criminals protecting bounties, and we've had a few promising ideas. I have read many of the suggestions made in this thread and others, and while ultimately we'll never be able to understand the true intentions of players and create an infallible system, I appreciate it could be a lot better than it is now, and I hope that we are able to spend some more time on it." Genuinely, that's fantastic to hear, as accidental crime stats are the worst, and them thinking about the evolution of the system and how it is intended to be used, and expanding out crime stat 1 and 2s, going, well, actually, these are for people that can just pay off fines, and they're saying, don't go, you've got your first warning, your second warning, and now, if you do anything more, or you do something big, you're going to obviously have that bigger crime stat, and people will start attacking you. Obviously, you're still going to get, like, crime stat 3s for certain crimes, but it'll be very nice to see most players who don't deserve a crime stat not have one, and accidental crime stats not just go, well, now you're done. You're kicked off Xenothreat, you're kicked off Siege of Orison or the lawful mission you're on, and, well, now you're naughty. Just because a guard ran in front of you, or they're in the way, or because some sort of weird bug has occurred. Boom, that's it for today, although there is a free fly on until the 15th of September that gives you the ability to try 8 ships, and the ship showdown is still on at the moment, and again until the 15th, and you can vote as long as your account was made before the ship showdown, so new accounts can't vote on the ship showdown, just bear that in mind. The 16 ship showdown ships are on sale. There's some discount starter packages available, and there's a referral bonus at the moment for a hovercrod for if you recruit a friend, with those running until the 19th. Anyway, what do you think of those crime stat changes, which would assumably be coming in Alpha 3.18? If they're working on it now, that's very likely they would be planned for then. What do you think of those new crash sites? That 600i Mercury Star Runner settlement all coming together? Are you hoping to start seeing 600i's and Mercury Star Runners by themselves too, sort of crashed and derelict in space? CitizenCon, that's coming real soon. What are you hoping to see? Did you like what they showed of the Colonial Outposts? Obviously, they're going to be used more than just the Pyro area. We've obviously started to see them in Stanton, those sort of very dilapidated, destroyed outposts. Do you think they were cooking people, stealing organs from people? What was going on there? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'm Nord Catcham, and it's my mission to become a Nord Master. Oh no, it's Team Hacksaw. Hacksaw uses trackers and blocks your ability to go on websites like Netflix and watch the content that you want to on Netflix? ? Go NordyChew! NordyChew uses nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It is super effective. He beats Team Hacksaws and he becomes a NordVPN master, a Nordymon master. Fortunately, with NordVPN, you don't need to catch them all. You just need to get a subscription from nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for September, we're giving away 3 ships, 1 each, to 3 different lucky winners. The Origin 100i, the 125A, and the 135C. Any of these solid starter ships will allow you just to jump in to Star Citizen and play right away. All you need to do is comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning one of those. More details in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to further support the channel, consider using the join button under my videos or becoming a Patreon. Either way, you'll get access to some exclusive content and have more of a voice in shaping the channel. A huge thank you to anyone that already does that. You are amazing. I love you. Zin also is contractually obliged to love you. There is a link for donations and all that jazz in the description below as well if that is your preferred medium. It is super appreciated, genuinely. Once again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.